Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell. Welcome to Moscow, and welcome to a new video. And welcome to the largest market in all of Russia, maybe even all of Europe, I wonder. Now, I've come to Sadovod, and I thought I'd take you for a walk around this incredibly big market, rynek, supermarket, whatever the name is correctly describing it. We're going to head on inside and check it out. Before I eventually walk in a few minutes, I just thought I'd give you a couple of statistics straight off the bat. Now, this is a massive place. The whole complex itself is over 40 acres in land size. It has 9,500 vendors or shops or market stalls. It's estimated that there's about 22,000 people that work here. Even that's just mind-boggling. And on a daily basis, they've got 250,000 people that come through Sadovod on a daily basis. It's a little bit hard to get even in the camera how big this place is. This is one of a lot of entrances. Thought I'd come to this one though because it's a little bit easier to start the video. And then there's a few indoor areas as well. So let's get on inside and check it out. Walking in Sadovod's main entrance for the first time, the one thing that greets you is really just the size of the place and the enormity of it, because it's a big place. Now, keep in mind, one of the things that's the most important statistic is how many shops there are. And throughout the whole building, well, the many different buildings, there's 9,500 vendors here, or shop sellers, and the buildings are split up into different lines, and they go forever in this direction, and then they go forever in this direction. This is the outdoor part, which is the main original building that was here from when they built Sadovod many, many years ago. And then there is a couple of indoor buildings. And originally, this place started off as a garden center, and it sold plants, flowers, all sorts of items that were for gardening, and thus the translation of Sadovod is gardener in English. Now, they do actually have a few fancier streets, and this is line 5, called Fashion Street, and the bit that differentiates this street versus all the others is it's got shops with glass doors, and each of them has a little bit of a different specialty to it. Also, it feels a little bit less hectic walking here as well. And of course, the fact that it's nearing winter, most of what we're seeing here is a lot of jackets and winter clothes. And that seems to be the theme of a lot of the clothing vendors here. Now, I've walked around this place many times. This is the first time I've truly been here with a camera and filmed it. So it's very interesting to try to explain it to you on camera what I'm seeing here, walking around. Now, these are a mixture of wholesale shops and retail shops. So there is a very big mix of businesses. So you can go in and buy just one item, or if you want to buy the whole shop, you could. And they'll even arrange delivery and shipping for you to wherever you want it to be sent. On the footpath back in the main alleyway, they actually have an express walkway, which is designed for the guys with the trolleys walking around. Of course, most people aren't kind of utilizing it correctly. There's a couple of guys going up and down here, and these are people who are the I'm not sure what they're called, the guys that with the trolleys, the couriers, And again, as we walk along here, just all of these different lanes. Now there is 30 different ones as we walk along on this right hand side. So each one is numbered, and then down each laneway there's then individual shops, and it's just overwhelming when you come here. I'm not too sure how many people buy underwear right here in the main street, but I think if you know the size of your clothes, it'll be fine. But there may be a jacket I'd be okay with, but I'm not sure about all of the intimates. Maybe you want a hat. Lots of different styles now for winter. And yeah, it's just aisle after aisle of shops. And now these aren't making my camera flash. These are all of the Christmas and fairy lights that they've got set up. And hopefully eventually I'll get to one of the lanes with all of the Christmas lights in one place. I really hope you're finding this video interesting. It's somewhere that I've wanted to come to for such a long time. I have been here many times myself shopping. It's not a place my wife really likes because it's just so hectic and so busy with people that it's not a favorite place for everybody to come shopping. But finally I've got to come here to make a video and walk around and show you what a Russian market really looks like. So I'm up to aisle 10 so far, and I've not walked down any of these side lanes because there's more than enough vendors right here on the main street or main alleyway without even going down the side lanes. It's hard to think about this in your head. 9,500 individual shops. 9,500. Just think about that. Is there a market anywhere in the world that has this many vendors in one place? Someone needs to tell me. Maybe they've been to one somewhere in the world. The different vendors that you see in the video come from quite a lot of countries. Primarily a lot of the things that you see are from China, but there is also vendors from Turkey, from Belarus, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, and a lot of the former Russian CIS countries. And the one thing that's important as you may be looking at some of these different stalls is not all of them have pricing on. So a lot of the products are negotiated prices. So some shops actively put the prices on them and some don't. Now have a look at this one. It's just umbrellas. This of course is perfect right now because as we head towards winter we get a lot of rainy days, and I wonder, has anybody got a Louis Vuitton umbrella? Please tell me in the comments if you've got one. The other thing that's really fun as you walk around, there is these mobile food carts, and this guy's got corn, and it's only $1 for hot cooked corn. He'll put it on a stick, put a bit of salt on, and you've got an easy instant lunch. Very nice. I decided to walk down one of the aisles here with a lot of cosmetics and perfumes and lots of different things for the ladies in Moscow. You can see here all of the different vendors, and most of this is in bulk quantities, but of course it's not a problem to buy it one at a time. And if you see these boxes on the floor here, this is where people have done orders from a particular shop, and they'll get posted off and sent somewhere else, mostly in different cities in Russia. Have a look at all the lanyards. Lots of different little souvenirs. Maybe I can get myself a Hyundai keychain for my car in Australia. What do you think? And this is the sort of shop my wife likes to come to, the nail salon shops. And they've got all of the things for nail salon, gloves. There's all of the nail dryers right there, and all of the drills. So plenty of supplies, I think is the right word. Maybe this one is a shampoo shop, I think. Different amounts of shampoo. And it is just fascinating how many individual businesses there are. Not just the variety of things. Maybe for Christmas, I want to get a snow globe. These are really nice, actually. It's really kind of mad. On the next table over, they've got gloves. So you can get one thing or the other. It's just interesting, the choices of things. So many clocks and speakers. And you can see here the shops that are selling in bulk, and all of the boxes where they're getting packaged up and then shipped off. They've actually got a lot of painting supplies in this place, and these things that are piled up here are their paint by number painting kits. So if maybe you want to do that, that's an option for you, to do paint by numbers. Just see the amount of people here in this line. Now, of course, I'm not going to cover all 30 pathways or lines, because the video would never end. But at least go up and down a couple of them, just to give you a bit of an insight into what's available. Again, here we can see all the boxes of things, and then where people have placed an order with them, they'll package everything up then to be shipped out or posted on to somewhere else. After leaving the main building and all of the outdoor markets, and you can just see how big it is. It goes all the way down the street, quite literally, and all of that's fully undercover. So winter time, which is coming on now, it's not the best weather, but I think you've just got to grin and bear it. Now I want to show you briefly a couple of these new buildings which have been here a few years now, but this is all indoors. There is two very big buildings, almost the size of what we saw outdoors, but here inside. The one thing that's nice about coming to the indoor section is the building is heated, and you can walk around a lot more comfortably than outside. Today in Moscow it's about 0 Celsius, so it's cool, but it's not cold as in winter when we'll get down to -15, -20. So it's much more comfortable to walk around this indoor part. There is actually a plan in the next few years to build this building again outside and bring all of the outdoor vendors to an inside complex like this, but will it happen? We'll see in the next few years. Now I'm starting to warm up a little bit walking around. I've been here for quite a few hours, so it's nice to come back inside. I've walked outside, I've walked inside, I've walked around quite a few times. Now there is of course a lot of stores that look like it's the same things. Now again, all of these businesses are all separate and different, and they've all got their information here, where the store is located, and hopefully you can find them a second time when you come here, hopefully. And pretty much if you don't want to go to a shopping center and you want to find something different, you'd come to Sadovod, and hopefully you can find something here now. If you're a person that can't make your mind up, this would be a difficult place to come shopping. I think for sure it's just so many things, and I'm probably a person included in that. I wonder now how his sunglasses sales are going now that winter is getting very close. But look at how many styles there are. That is so cool. This must be the sunglasses man of Sadovod. I've now walked over to building B. So there's two main buildings that we've seen from the outside, and walked around. And this is building B. The big differences with the inside buildings here, it's really more like a shopping center. This is still considered a market versus what a true shopping center be, with shops and individual businesses. But the place itself is just crazy how big it is and how never-ending it is, and the amount of people. Now, of course, the difficult thing walking in a place like this is trying to show individual businesses and what's available, what's for sale, because it's just overwhelming. And I think the whole video, as you've been watching it and still watching it, it's me just with a big smile on my face, looking at all the items. Maybe I need a new watch. Plenty of watches right here. And there is nothing you can't find in this buildings. And really there's nothing that's not available. The biggest problem that I find walking around is trying to figure out how I'd come back to look at the same place twice. Now, the one thing that they do have shop numbers for all of the businesses. So we're now in building B. This is store number 88. It's on level 2. So the idea is you either write it down or you take a photo of it so that you can figure out how to get back here a second time. But it's going to be near impossible, no matter how many times I come here, to show this whole place in a video. And just the amount of goods, the amount of choices of goods. There's one here just with shampoos and perfumes. And this one being the more shopping center feel. It's got a lot more clothing and men's and women's and children's wear. And then they also have some of the wholesale businesses here. So where you order certain things and certain products, or certain sizes even. Imagine. Wow, it just keeps on going. Walking on a little bit further. Now I am going to start and stop a lot. I think that's very evident in the videos. And this section, or this aisle, has wedding dresses and bridesmaid dresses. And they even have suits for men. Have a look at some of these. And most of these places, they do custom fitting, and they have ladies that do the actual measurements and sizing of the dresses. And have a look at all the choices and just all the different designs, and they've got whole shops of them. Have a look, maybe you want to get a tiara. Look at that, just tiaras. Has anybody worn one of those when they got married? Let me know in the comments if they're still a thing. Tiaras. It's not as busy here on this section. Maybe it's not wedding season now as we come into winter. I think they definitely have a wedding season here. The other thing they do here also is they do all the measure and cutting and sewing of everything. So you can walk out knowing what you bought will definitely fit you. And there's just shop after shop of the different wedding gowns. Have a look how many there are all the way down. The inside part of the building here has so many different vendors that there is literally a shop for anything. And have a look at all these different chandeliers and picture frames and lampshades. And then we only have to go to the next one and we see lots of underwear, and on the other side hats Now, we've not had snow quite yet in Moscow, but another week, I think we're going to be overwhelmed with the amount of snow, and the temperature is going to dip quite a fair bit, so things like gloves for the kids and hats and scarves become pretty much a necessity. One of the favorite things to do in Russia is to have a sauna or a banya, and have a look, they've got a shop here just with the hats for banyas and all the different types, and there's different funny slogans on them. But if you ever go to a sauna, you've got to wear them on your head because the heat is just so intense. And have a look at the next stall here. They've got all the different uniforms. So maybe you want for nurses' uniforms and different shop uniforms. And pretty safely, if you go to any food market in Russia, you're going to see ladies wearing these right here as their uniforms. I left my wife at home today. She actually had to work, and she's forever telling me, Russell, you need new socks. You've got to buy some more packs of socks. And I'm pretty sure this might be the sock men of Sadovod. Of course, a little bit of underwear there as well. But any brand you like, you just let them know, and they'll find you all the different styles, sizes of socks. Wow, that's a lot right here. I mean, just have a look at all the piles of them. And I found another seller here with gloves. And I've actually got a pair of gloves in my pocket right now. I was thinking maybe today it might be cold enough to wear them, but not yet. But there is a lot of choices of gloves. I really like this indoor area here because of the fact that it's heated. You can walk around more comfortably. More and more socks. All the different brands are right here as well in bulk packs. And then almost every shop specializes in one thing or another. So we'll see all the hats. And then another underwear store right here. And then a lot of the things on this building has a lot of fabrics and mostly clothing. You can see all the sweaters and just aisle after aisle of them. I mean, there's not just a few shops here. Again, keep that in mind. 9,500 individual stores. The different shops continue. Now, of course, there's a couple of different ways I could have filmed this. And one would have been just me walking with the camera and showing everything unnarrated. And then this way I'm doing it where I'm just showing you what I see. There's lots of sheets here and towels. And maybe you want some curtains. I think every Russian house has these in their kitchen. And I can easily not talk as I'm walking around, and you can just be in awe of the place and all the things that I'm seeing. And just all the never-ending businesses as you walk down each laneway. And just even the amount of guys walking around with these trolleys, we've seen them a lot, where they're doing all of the business and trading, and someone's maybe bought something online. A lot of the shops here have got online businesses, so people will buy things for delivery and for shipping to somewhere else in Russia. And yeah, it's just fascinating. Perhaps you want bed sheets. Plenty of choices. There's not just a few in the front as well. They've got these back storage areas that just keep on going and going. And even just all these different linen vendors. Wow, it's impressive. Sadovod as a place is actually considered a market. Now, for me, I would call it a rynok, which is the very traditional name in Russia for a market. But this is a very big market, and it borders on a shopping center but then there's still the outdoor element of the place. Just here the nice sign. All the cafes upstairs as well, so if you want to have lunch or dinner. And one thing that's interesting with this water fountain is in most of Moscow now, being that winter is very close, they're all switched off. And the one here at Sadovod is still working, so it's very nice. There isn't anyone sitting out around the fountain, but it's completely okay. It's not expected with the weather the way it is. You can see obviously when I've been walking around, everybody's in heavy jackets, hats and scarves, and wow. Have a look at the sign there. All the different landmarks of the world. And I think that's a bit of a thing for Sadovod, that the world has come to Moscow and come to this market. Coming back outside, there's also lots of small food shops and takeaway places. And this gentleman here has got pomegranate juice. Look how nice these pomegranates look. And then he actually squeezes the pomegranates, filters it out, and you end up with a take-home bottle of pomegranate juice. Let me know, everyone, have you had pomegranate juice before? It looks so nice, this stuff. Wow. The other favorite thing to do here is to get a nice warm pastry, and these have got different savories inside, so chicken, potato or meat, and they're not very expensive, but they're cooked fresh right here in the store, and you literally just get them in a plastic bag and you're good to go. And there's different versions of them, and they made literally right in the store right here. So this is a very popular thing to do. Then you can stop then at these tables for a few minutes break. As I'm slowly heading on out, I've not really shown you more than a few % of this place, and just the amount of shops and stalls, and it's just overwhelming. It's an amazing place to come to if you've never been here before, or maybe you even live in Moscow and you've never been here. You've got to come at least once to Sadovod and to check out the place. I decided to walk down the middle aisle of the different lanes now, so you'll see on top here the numbers just keep going up. So 15 all the way down to 30 off in the distance, and then each aisle, as you look this direction and then the other direction, all of the different stalls. Now, are they different? That's the question I have even for myself. Are there things different? And people wanting to do some shopping and looking for some deals. And lots of smiling faces as I walk around. Maybe we need a massage gun.
Massage gun?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Thank you for a test. Has anyone got one of those massage guns? My wife actually has one at home and she uses it occasionally. I don't like them, but it's interesting. The guy just gave me a quick little shoulder massage and he wasn't so happy being on the camera, but I understand that. As I keep walking around, it's just mind-boggling even for me. Now, I came about an hour earlier than I started recording here just to briefly have a walk around, and just the never-ending shops as you walk down the different lanes here. And if you get hungry, they've got another mobile shop right here, so if you want some snacks or a drink. I promise you, as I'm walking around, I'm not just walking up and down the same pathway. I am trying to show you different things. Maybe we need some new jeans and trousers. And then over here, small bags. Very popular thing to have in Russia is a passport cover. And they've got all the different types here. And they've got the Russian Federation crest on them. Does anybody have a special cover for their passport? Let me know in the comments. I am going to ask you lots of different questions Perhaps we need some bed sheets. Wow, so many choices for bed sheets right here. And they're even on special. How nice is that? And then directly across from the bed sheets is more underwear and different brands of underwear. And then all of the vendors and shops. It really is a busy place. Now, I am here now a little bit later in the afternoon than when I initially arrived. It closes at 6 p.m. this place. This is very untraditional from Moscow shops, which would be open till 10 p.m. So this trades only till 6. How about some perfume? Lots of perfumes. Now I'm being as polite as I can as I walk around and not stopping and starting as everybody goes past me, because this is Sadovod. When you come here, it's a busy place. There's a lot of coming and going, and you have to take it for what it is. You can see now down that lane just how many we've come across, and every now and again someone just brushes right by me, and there's not much I can do, but that's going to be the case when you come here. A lot of people are a little bit in a rush to get to their favorite shop or to see something or buy something that's lots of lanes away from where we're walking right now. It's interesting, each of these different shops, the different setups that they have. So some of them have the clothes just in huge piles, and then some have them nicely displayed on mannequins. And then I think the most famous way where you get them off the hooks, off the top. And all of the lines that we've walked down have the second level, which is their storage. And we see here, they literally put everything up on the top level, and all their storage right here. It's a little bit hectic. I'm not trying to do this cut and edited. I really want to show exactly what I see here, and whether it's crowded or not, it's what I'm showing you on the video. And again, lots of underwear. I wonder what happens. There's somewhere around the back that you can try things on. How does that work, I wonder? If you remember earlier in the video, I was down by line 4 or 5. And then here is number 26. And you can see off in the distance, or can you see how far down they reach, all of the lines. And the good thing, of course, in winter, or even when it's raining, you're well protected here inside. Even though we're in an outdoor market, you know, you can still come in winter and it's perfectly okay. As I walk towards the last few lanes here, this one has artificial flowers, and there isn't lots of stalls at this end, but there's some kind of a fascination with artificial flowers and all the little shops that have them, because they're very cool. I think some of these are now for Christmas and for the holidays, but someone needs to tell me what the fascination with these are in Russia, please. For the next few minutes, I'm going to walk along a lane that's dedicated to Christmas and the holidays, and there's a lot of flashing lights, so if that's not something you like to watch, perhaps skip this part. But it's really interesting if you want to see all the different Christmas decorations in October here at Sadovod. I think a lot of these are only seasonal and they're not set up year-round. I've been here quite a few times and I just don't remember these at any other time of the year that they've got them set up. This entire lane right here is all of the different holiday decorations, and my camera is just flashing away like mad right now because it's seeing all these different lights. And have a look at the Christmas baubles And they've even got some candles back there and different decorations. This is very cool. All of the ribbons and bows. And this whole lane is just dedicated to Christmas. I'm trying to avoid the flashing lights, but it's very difficult, as you can imagine. That's why I did the warning just at the beginning there, because of the amount of LEDs and lights that they've got set up. Wow, have a look at all the dinosaurs here. This is like a dinosaur alley. That's kind of cool. Have a look in these glass cases. They've got different types of snow globes. These are runoff USB power cables. And they've got some here that are the tea lights as well. Of course, not everything's switched on, but these are very neat. I like this. This would be nice for the windows in my balcony, I think. Something like this. But they're preparing now all of the trees. And it is a big thing in Russia, particularly the fact that it runs from December through January. So all these decorations will really start selling as soon as they're all set up. Maybe you want a fireplace for your house. Well, at least an artificial one. They got all sorts of different types. These are really nice. I wasn't expecting this aisle to be as varying as it is. Again, I'm sorry about the flashing lights. A lot of these lights are flashing anyway because of the LEDs, but there is really some serious flashing. Maybe you want to dress up. There's lots of different costumes here. Maybe these are for Halloween, perhaps. There's more decorations as I keep walking along, and just so many different types. It's really definitely somewhere to come if you want to decorate your house and hopefully find something unique that everyone else doesn't have. And over here is an LED light shop. Wow, it's really flashing. Actually, probably more than what it looks like on the camera. There's a whole row of them right here. All the different stores with LEDs for sale. As I come back to the normal lines and try to find my way out of here. Now, the most important thing I need to remember is my bus to get back to the metro is by line 6. So I've still got a fair way to walk. And you can see still how many people are about. Now the different alleyways have quietened down a little bit more now. This place opens at 6 in the morning. And I'm curious how busy it would be if you came at 6 or 7 in the morning versus now, later in the afternoon, how many people would be about. It's a very big place. I know I've repeated myself quite a lot as I've walked around, but it really is just something that's not explainable apart from watching it on a video like this. And just how much stock is here and how many different stalls there are. It's just mind-blowing to see shop after shop. Okay everybody, so I'm going to end the video here in the bus going to the metro. I really hope you've enjoyed this video today at Sadovod. We've got a nice full bus of everybody heading to the metro station. I really hope you found this walk around of Sadovod interesting. There was a lot of shops to see. It's a little bit later in the evening now. It's getting a little bit colder outside, but I'm in a nice warm bus. I've got about a 20-minute ride to get to the metro station, and then it's going to take me all up about 2 hours to get home from here. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up would be very nice. If you've never been to Sadovod before and you get a chance to come, make it one of your days in Moscow and come out here. Maybe don't catch the bus home like I'm doing, but if you have to, you have to. Post a comment, let me know what you think of what I've shown you. I've asked lots of questions in the video. I really hope it was interesting. I'm in Telegram if you want to join me on Telegram. There's also another video for you to watch right here after the video's finished. Maybe you want to watch an older video on the channel. And I'm off another adventure. Bye everybody.